Hello, everyone, and welcome to Heads and Dovetails with myself, as I always say, Jill Harvey-Bush, and the lovely Jamie Hubbard. And we just have you today, Jamie, no guest. We got some really good feedback, though, on that podcast. So, how are
Did we?
you? Yes.
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. I'm going to add to this because we didn't really touch on the EV. I think Andrew was slightly concerned with me because I am quite anti a lot of things new. But since then, which was what, 3 weeks ago, was it? Which
Yeah,
sounds
yeah. Well, it
bonkers.
would have been our podcast 2 weeks ago when we released this one. Yeah.
Since then, I teach on a Wednesday night. Yeah, Wednesday night. My Wednesday night guy couldn't come because he was stuck in a charging station. I'm sorry, but that I was just like, oh, for heaven's sake. So I get it all, but because his work and whatever, this is the thing I suppose now we need to look at is okay, I get all the EV stuff. But if it encroaches on your time, your private time, where you've put some time aside to do stuff, good stuff for you, but then you've got to sit in a charging station first of all to wait to get your turn, and then to charge. He's lost a session. Anyhow,
But it is all
so
part. I mean, we can cover that as well. I get that it does have to be a mindset. And some people would say, well, I
yeah,
think Andy would be, he hadn't thought in advance, he hadn't planned when he needed to charge, and that's why he's where he is. But interestingly, we were in Lyme Regis yesterday and just took some time out, and there was a right argy-bargy going on down on the Cobb car park about the charging stations because there's about, I don't know, four or five. You know, when you don't have an EV car, I don't tend to look for
yeah,
them. Well, there was a right argy-bargy going on because there was a lady obviously waiting to pull into this space. This man was in the space, obviously had been charging, and she was kind of going, could you move your car now you've charged? Anyway, the argy-bargy went on, and the upshot of it, because she said, I really need to get charged. I don't have a lot of charge left. Well, that's not my fault. And it's such an argy-bargy. In the end, he locked his car and he said, do you know what? I'm going to stay here for another hour. And he walked off. So he was fully charged, of course, and this is what happens. People plug in and then off they go. They can be fully charged, but of course the car still sits in the
and stops
EV
other people.
and stops other people. I mean, there's lots of them now at Sainsbury's, but again, it happens that they plug in. And I think, as Andy said, about he doesn't like waiting for petrol because people pull into the petrol station and go and do their mini shop in the Tesco's or Sainsbury's or whatever that's part of the petrol station. Well, this was the reverse, of course, is, well, I'm
Yeah,
fully charged, but I'm totally legally able to leave my car here for 4, 5, 6 hours and go off
yeah.
for the day.
Oh,
And that's what's happening is people are parking in this car park, leaving their cars on charge and pushing off. So anybody else looking at their app thinking, oh yes, there's charging points, coming down to the car park to find, but they're all full. So I'm not sure, as I say, you and I aren't into EV. Do you have to go and move your car once it's fully charged? Do you have to, can you only be there for an hour? Can you park all day? So anyway, EV, it's a whole interesting subject.
you went off to Lyme Regis yesterday and had a lovely ice cream experience, didn't you?
Yes. Well, I think this is all
let's get let's
about
let's
it's
get on to a little bit of a moan, not moan, but
well, it's kind of what's going on because of price increases, which we fully appreciate people need to do. So
yeah,
Clive and I went off to Lyme Regis, had an interesting few weeks. I thought we'll take some time out and we'll go off to Lyme Regis, which is about 40 minutes from us, and it's our favourite place in, I would say, more or less in the world, to be honest. And at the end, Clive said, okay, we went and had our lovely coffee, and he said, I'm going to treat you to an ice cream. So, oh, lovely. I haven't had an ice cream out for ages, and this will show you how long. So off we go to look at the ice cream and thought, oh, this is a gelato place. We'll have a gelato. And they were £4.50, one scoop in a plain cone.
and
Now,
this isn't to sit in. This isn't to sit
no, no,
in at a
no. This is one
table.
of these
This is just
takeaway. You go up to the
yeah,
kiosk where they dish out fish and chips and everything,
yeah,
on the front, and you buy your ice cream and you walk off with them. Come on, I'm not paying that. So we backtracked all the way down every single ice cream shop And yeah, the cheapest we could find for, and it wasn't one of those fancy waffle cones or with waffle and chocolate cone dipped, all of those that you can get these days. It was just in the basic cone, and it was £4.25. And Clive said, "Well, I am not paying, that." And in his head, he went, "That's way more than the cappuccino coffees we've just had sitting in." So he said, "I'm not paying that. We can go home and have an ice cream at home, and it'll be much cheaper." And I said, "Well, yes, it will." So that's exactly what we did, is we came home, and my treat of an ice cream was me making the ice creams. And he loves one with a little bit of lemon curd in. So I push the ice cream down into the cone, little bit lemon curd, ice cream, little bit lemon curd, ice cream, little bit of lemon curd. So my treat was me making our ice creams when we got
That's
home.
what sounds beautiful. What a wonderful treat for you.
It's delicious if you like lemon.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
absolutely, I mean, you don't have to put too much. As I say, I just put a kind of a thin covering on top of each layer of ice cream, and finish it off. But as we were saying, Jamie, we don't blame the places, you know,
No,
they have to pay council tax, wage, well, everything that we know, national insurance,
yeah.
pensions, they have to pay for the power there, there, they have to pay, obviously, and everything is going up. But like you, I am not blaming the owners at all. They are scraping
No,
by.
they are. You only have to look at how the businesses that's just suddenly disappear.
Hmm.
And you just think, well, they haven't just suddenly gone because, I don't know, something's it's usually the straw that breaks the camel's back, isn't it? It's usually
Yeah.
the rent's just gone up. I know somebody, who was it? Somebody recently, I think I talked about it before, where the lovely guy who used to make my stamps for marking my furniture
Mm.
and things. He his business, a few things went wrong, and then the straw that broke the camel's back was the farmer, the landowner, had transferred everything over to his nephew, and there were a number of units on this old farm, and he, as soon as he came in, doubled the rent,
Mm.
and that was it. It was just like, and that can be it, can't it? And if
Yeah.
it, yeah, what bothers me is, I mean, it was years ago. We can look back and see roughly when it was, probably 20 years ago, that that everything was going, not just, I think house prices are another thing. Do you remember when regional, do you remember when it used to make a difference for house prices, the region of them? I mean, it does in London, but
Mm.
now you can look at areas where they really weren't popular, but the house prices are similar to around the corner. And you think, how come? And it's just, that's gone bonkers. I'm going to blame the estate agents for most of this. I'm going to blame the estate agents
Well, I think it's also
and the
greed.
oligarchs.
It's also, as owners, etc., it's us as well. I think we have to be
Yeah.
very aware. I follow a lady on Instagram called Heartfelt Home, and she's somebody who goes and finds houses for people. She
Oh,
seeks and
okay.
looks for them, and wheels and deals for them. So obviously, I think slightly higher echelon than your basic, I want a flat at 250. And it's really interesting watching her and what she's been posting about the market at the moment, and how buyers are actually, it's a buyer's market, and that sellers have a figure in their head that they're going to sell at, but of course they're not accepting offers. And she said, and then you're seeing properties on the market a year, 2 years later, and then they're just slowly reducing, and that the market has stagnated. I mean, we got our property valued a few months ago because we were thinking of moving. We now are staying put until everything settles, and the estate agent's fees are now 1.75%. They used to be 1.3, 1.5. Well, they made a lot of money at those times of, the boom when everybody was buying, selling, moving. There was a lot of money being
Yeah.
made.
Yeah.
And of course, if you think about it, they are not selling any properties. So there's no money coming in. So any property that they are selling, they actually have had to increase their commission on, which itself has put us off
Selling.
from putting us,
They're,
yeah, because the fee
they're,
would be
they're pricing
huge.
themselves. They're pricing themselves out of
Yeah,
their market.
exactly. I mean, the other
Mm.
one is petrol again, with what's, here we are talking politics really, what's going on in the Middle East. yesterday, I went past the little petrol station, should have fit, well, I was full, so I couldn't have put any more in. 151.9. So it had gone up from the previous week. I went past
Yeah.
this morning, 155.9, where we are. And when I go to Sainsbury's, and I always double check because I often little petrol stations are more expensive than big supermarkets. And I think this is
Mm.
something we were going to talk about, how you can be fooled by companies and actually it's cheaper elsewhere. So in the past, I used to think, oh no, the supermarket will be much cheaper. But
Mm.
actually, it rarely is now. It's usually more
Yeah.
expensive to my little petrol station. Sainsbury's,
Yeah.
157.9 this morning.
Yeah.
And I think we had mentioned, and that's just come when we say what we're going to talk about. I think it was the looking at how companies fool you into thinking they're cheaper. I think one of yours would be, if you look on Amazon, you'll assume, yes, they're cheaper and so on. And actually, then when you
Yeah.
look somewhere else or you go direct,
Direct. Yeah.
it's often cheaper to go direct. I think,
Yes. There's a guy. There's an antique dealer I follow, and I follow him on eBay, to be honest. Um, and he's got his own website. But I follow him on eBay, and he sells the Robert Thompson pieces. So
oh, I remember
the
you saying,
pieces
yeah,
with the mouse on.
yeah,
And I don't know if mentioned this before, but on his, say he's selling something, he's got 8 photos on eBay. The first photos will show you what it is and the different angles and whatever. The Say the seventh photo will show you his business because it's a business account. So, and he's called the something mouse, the Yorkshire Mouse, I think his business is called. Um, and then on the last photo, it's a screenshot of his website telling you how much he charges on his website. So if you see this on his eBay listing, he might be selling it, say, 468 quid on eBay. You go through all the photos, he's selling that for 360 or 80 or whatever. It's definitely 40 or 50 or £60 less on his own website because eBay will take a cut
yeah,
because it's a business.
yeah,
So you look at that and you think, oh, okay, well, it's a bit pricey on here, but it does look good. The photos are great. And you get to the end, you go, oh, okay. Oh, well, I'll go to his website. Then you go to his website, you look over his website, and it's just like, oh, well, these prices aren't bad at all. And yet he looked very expensive on eBay,
yeah.
but that was because of the costs.
Yeah, and again, depends how people look at cost, doesn't it? Because to some people that might not be expensive on eBay. And they look at the first few photos and think, oh yes, that's fine, click and buy. It's the same way as, we had Honor on, if they're running sheets or bookings or accommodations, then everybody's
Yeah,
got, in some ways you've got to be, or you haven't got to be, but people tend to put themselves on the various booking websites, don't they? So that they pop up if somebody's looking. But often, if you then find their website, which is what I've done in the past, they might pop up on, I don't know, booking.com or whatever. I will look for the website, whether it's a
yeah,
hotel or B&B or whatever.
yeah,
I will click on the website and I will go direct. And
yeah.
often, sending an email, you will get it cheaper because, exactly as
Yeah,
you said, they're not having to pay for the fees, if you like.
yeah.
So
Mm.
anyway,
I've got to tell you
right,
about
your
something. Well,
turn.
two things. Two things. The tree house has come down.
Oh, have you
I've been
filmed
honest.
it? Do we get to see it?
Yeah, hopefully. And I still haven't done a video, Jill, in ages. I really haven't. And I want to talk about. Maybe we can talk about this on the next podcast. Maybe we need
Oh,
to make a
make a
note of it
note.
now.
Right.
Everything that's going on with social media now,
Yeah.
and they say it's addictive and whatever. I think all of the posting is. It isn't just the viewers that are made
Hmm.
addictive to it. I think the other side of that is you can get addictive to the posting, uploading. I've got to do this, I've got to do that, and the stress of all of that.
Hmm.
And that's we'll talk about on the next one.
Okay.
But um, Treehouse has come down.
Right.
I'm disappointed in myself that I didn't do a video on the elephant. You know the elephant that I
Oh,
did for
yes. I
someone?
didn't see the ending of it.
I didn't do the end. And this is the problem. I'd got 60 clips of video, and I just thought, I haven't got it in me. I haven't got it in me to go through all of those. and try and make it look good. And I'm giving up on. I've got to
Mm,
give up on that. I'm now. I've filmed the treehouse coming down. There aren't many bits where I put it on a tripod and so you can see the visual. It's more of a talking through this. I'm going to take this.
mm.
I'm going to do this. It's more talking it through it, which feels disappointing. But I just want to. I've got to stop thinking about the making it slick. I've got to think.
Yeah.
I just need to record it a bit. I just need to record what's going on. It doesn't have to be. I've got to stop all of that, and I think this is the problem. I think we've got so used to seeing these. I mean, we're all amateurs on Instagram and whatever. Majority are amateurs that make a sort of living out of it. But we've taught self-taught.
Hmm.
It's not like it's our, but yes, you get to the stage where you're making money from it. But it's been it's been easy to film by doing it that way than trying to make a video out of it. Do you get me? Trying to
Yes. I,
just
I,
document bits.
Yeah, I think personally, well, I know I'm not the only one because other people are saying it. I think it's actually we now want the authentic. We want the real. We
Yes.
want to see
Yeah.
that, oh, I'm going in, I'm coming out. I want to see that. I don't want it to be slick, slick, slick. And I was talking about this. I
Yeah.
think I touched on it on my Jill HB and Friends podcast with Louise from Lulu's Allotment. How
Yeah.
we're not actors and actresses. We don't want to
Yeah.
see actors and actresses jumping in and doing this. And we don't want it to be that slick anymore. We actually want to see the fuzzy photos. And I've seen quite a few posts up, but we know that the algorithm, once you pick up one, it throws loads at you of other people saying, I want to see that. What happened to that reality? That
Yeah.
you just take a photograph, you
Yeah.
post it. You just take a video, you post it. What happened? And
Yeah.
if you, well, you do see mine. That's exactly what I do. I don't
You do.
edit. I don't
You
put a
do.
filter. I don't do any of that because
No.
can't be asked, basically, Jamie.
Yeah.
You
And it
know,
does take up
it
time. It
takes up
takes
a
such a lot of
huge amount
time.
of time. I am doing stuff for my YouTube channel, and I am now remembering, I think I did do a post, so you'll see a lot more stuff in landscape going on
Yeah.
to Instagram because I
Yeah.
am not going out on my walks and thinking, oh,
I'm
I need
doing.
to do portrait for Instagram, I need to do landscape for YouTube.
I
I am
was
not
doing that.
doing that. I'm
I was doing
sorry, I
that. I
am
know.
not doing that. If Instagram want it that way, then they have got to find some way in which you can easily turn landscape into portrait. Because there was one, I think I said, oh, I've done two of these. But I thought, I cannot be bothered to, oh,
I
I
know.
do this, and then I've got to turn it this way, and I've got to take that. No, so you're going to see
It's
landscape, I'm sorry, on Instagram.
Yeah, it takes up so much headspace. You're on your
Correct.
own. We
Yeah.
are on our own when we do this. 99% of us are on our own trying to do this. And I think when you're trying to do one way and one the other, I was doing it a couple of days ago and I just thought, Jamie, just stop. Just stop.
Hmm.
Just don't. Don't even go there because you're trying to create another thing. Who for? It doesn't matter. I'm doing it for me. I've got to go back to doing it for me to document it.
Yeah.
One of the girls said, "Are you filming this, Dad?" I think Lucy, Chloe said it. Are you filming this? And I said, "Yeah." And I think what I'm going to try to do, because my problem is the the treehouse was on George Clark's Amazing Space, so
Mm.
it would be nice for people to see that. I hate it. I hate watching it. I've watched it twice
Mm.
in nearly 10 years, and it's 9 years this year, and I just see me in so much pain. I
Right.
see, I know what I was going through at the
Yeah.
time. I can see why the beard was huge and whatever. It's because, and it wasn't a not a neglect because that can be seen sometimes, can't it? That people, oh, if they've got big
Sometimes
beard,
it
is
gives you
neglect.
a hide behind.
It was something to hide behind.
Yeah.
It was
You
definitely
don't
something to
see
hide
the
behind.
real person. It gives me something to hide behind. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I
yeah.
get it.
So there's that, and because we're of copyright, I'm not allowed to show just the video, which
Mm.
I think I've got 5 minutes out of the third, out of the 1 hour
Mm.
program. I think in total we've got 5 minutes. When I think of how many days and how much it costs me to do that, and they don't give you a penny.
Yeah.
Um, and I think nowadays they do look after you a little bit, on the mental health side, but nothing. There was nothing back then. It was
Mm,
I shouldn't have done it. I'll be honest, I shouldn't have done it. I
yeah.
did it for I did it for a couple of reasons. But one of the sort of third reason was I could get some work from this. I could have, and it didn't. It
No,
didn't
it
make any
doesn't.
difference
No,
at
it
all.
doesn't.
But it did the first few things, which was me to sort something out for the girls, and me to help Ellie achieve something before she went off to university, to give her that to give her a boost, to lift her up, to help her get into university.
But then that's
And
what to
that really
remember.
worked.
That's what to
Yes,
remember, isn't it? Is that's the reason that
yes,
you did it, was to help her.
yes.
And yeah, you can
And
always
it's
just
done its
refer to
job.
it. And if you just say, don't you, if you want to see what it was like, it's on George Clark's, whatever, this, so many minutes each.
I'm going to use some stills
Yeah,
from
that'd be
the
fine.
show. From the show, I can use some stills, and I think I might put. I'm not going to put much on because I don't want the hassle of somebody coming along later and saying you've used 1 minute 38 of this, and that means that you've got to pay us this,
Yeah,
or please take it, cease and desist,
yeah,
take it down. I don't want to get into any of that.
yeah.
So I might put a couple of little tiny clips, but to be honest, to do that, I've got to get I've probably got to get a new laptop because my laptop's died. I've got to get it on there. I've got a screen record. I probably won't end up bothering. I won't, probably won't.
And
But
also it
it'll be
is,
good for people to see how it was.
yes,
Because at its
absolutely.
best, it was great.
And I think
And now it's gone.
it is
And it's
also, as you said,
beautiful.
when you're videoing, it's, oh, I've got to set up the tripod. Oh, what's the angle? What's this? I'm not an expert in that. So like when I'm weaving, I keep saying to people, yeah, yeah, I'll do it. And then I think, oh God, I forgot to set the tripod up. And what angle do I want? And how does it film? And oh no, you can get these camera that follow your hands. And I'm like, I'm not
Oh,
really into that. This brings me to something I saw literally on Instagram yesterday. I follow a guy called Adam Floating. I think he's on a canal boat and he's very much about being zen and whatever. But he's now gone into brand collaborations, quite rightly.
okay.
So he can earn, it's become his job. And he's
Yeah.
getting a whole load of abuse because they're saying, you know, you're going against your values. This isn't what you said you were doing.
You've
You've
changed.
changed
Yeah.
and all the rest of it. But as he's saying, no, I was making these videos. They take, and when you do them properly, and he's a very slick and he does voiceovers and all the rest of it, when you do them, it takes a lot of time.
It
And
does.
it absolutely does, as you and I know. And he's saying this is actually, people ask him, how do you earn money to be able to live this? Well, he's doing brand collaborations, which people see as being, oh, you're selling out, you know, this isn't. But he said, this is what I do. This is how I earn my money. And one of these videos, I think he's been given a coffee machine, for example, which he was advertising yesterday. But he said, you know, that's like a day and a half's work, believe it or not, to
Yeah.
film it. And some people
Yeah.
go, oh, don't be ridiculous. What, a minute video? But you and I know by the time you've done the shots, you've set it up, you've done the voiceover, you've done the editing, you've done this, you've done that. And I think it's absolutely right. But people see quick money. And there's another lady that Louise told me about, Everyday Maz, I think she's called. And she has gone through how to do a brand collaboration because people are going, oh, how do I, you know, I need to get brands on board. I need to earn some money. And she has gone through and given everybody, if you like, not the trade secrets, but the shortcut. This is how you do it. This is what I did. This is, and she's had
Mm.
abuse from other brand collaborators saying, you're taking work away from us. How dare you by telling the
No,
world how to do it? It's like, really? There really is enough in the world for everybody. And that's her view. So I
this.
really like it. But even she says it takes, don't be fooled, it takes a long time. It takes a long time to get the contract with the person, to ask for the money, to do
Yeah.
the deal, to do it right. It goes backwards and forwards to them a million times before they're happy
Um,
with the video. And she says, yes, some months she can earn thousands, you know, several thousand, and other months she earns nothing.
Nothing. And the thing is, what people don't realize is it's the early years where
Mm,
you're making nothing. I mean, my YouTube channel
mm,
wasn't eligible for any and to make any money up from it until the first. It was month 12. It was month
mm.
12 where I actually started signing up to it to AdSense to then make some money from it.
Yeah.
But then when that started, I was jumping for joy at 10 pence a day. And I was just like, oh, it's 10 pence. And my mum was just like, Jamie, please. And I was just like, yeah, but it's the start. This is gonna go, this could go wild. And we're talking about it, you get sort of
Swept up.
and then you look at £5 a day or £10 a day, or and you think, oh, this is good if this keeps going. I mean, I've had £99 in a day,
Yeah.
and that's great. That's
Yeah.
brilliant. But that's still all of that still doesn't make up for the fact that the first year you made zero,
Correct. And if you're lucky,
and people forget that.
yeah, I was watching a lady on YouTube yesterday, and she was saying about, let's be honest about this. I was doing this for a couple of years, and I was getting, and she shows the analytics. I was getting no views, no views, no views, no views. And she said, and I got to a point I could monetize, and still, not a lot, not a lot, not a lot. And she said, what was really interesting is she said, I'd done this video, say, in January, and she had no views. And she did a video in June and she said, this is what just that one thing should have no idea what set it off. This is what it was
Yeah,
about. But she said, I did this video in June, which suddenly got 100,000 views. But what it also did is then it went back. She said, I saw my video that I did back in January that I'd had like 0 views.
yeah,
Suddenly
yeah,
I'm on 900,000 views. And she
yeah.
said, I have no idea why it did
It's
nothing. But one triggered the other
it does, it
bring in,
does.
but it's not
I
consistent
think
money.
no, it isn't. My fourth video, which was in month one of when I started on YouTube, that one went. That was my number one video after 12 months of AdSense,
Mm,
no, after 12 months of not getting paid, that went up to my number one video after 18 months, 2 years. And I think that's had 400,000 views.
yeah.
I think three or 400,000 views. And you're just like, wow, how is this?
But it's as people find
How?
you,
But
isn't it? And then they go back and look at other
yeah. And
videos,
they
and
look at your
then
most popular.
and then YouTube promotes it because suddenly you're getting a lot of views. So suddenly it pops up on people's places. I mean, Clive's finding out that one minute you're going up and everything's going up, then suddenly you dive off a cliff in terms of
I know.
analytics. So I think with all of these things, yeah, everybody is chasing that let me be this whoever that's big on YouTube that earns a fortune on YouTube without realizing actually it's not people say easy money. It takes a lot of work. Clive spends a lot of
Yeah.
time putting but he
Yeah.
enjoys it,
I was going to say,
so
the thing is
he
with
enjoys
Clive,
it.
it's not. I mean, I know he does some teaching, but
Yeah.
it's not like he's got a 9 to 5,
No.
and it's
No,
and
he's
it's good. I'll be
semi-retired
honest.
now.
I think it's good for the grey matter.
Yes, and
I
that's
think that
exactly why
sort of
he's doing
thing,
it.
and I think if you can bring back something that you did, say, in the 60s, 70s, if you're bringing something and showing people now, well, if you didn't do it now, how do we know that was going on then?
Exactly. On that note, Jamie, I think we've done half an hour. I won't know until I download, but yeah, we've had a bit of a rant, a bit of a moan, a bit of a general discussion that there's
Mm,
no, I think in essence, I would sum it up as what we last thing we're talking about. There's no such thing as free money.
no,
There are
no,
hours of work. When you're watching a 2-minute video, there can be hours of filming, editing, work that goes into that. And some of us haven't been brought up to be tech people. So extra
no. I mean,
extra hours watching other videos on how to do
oh,
it.
don't. The number of hours. I'm really proud of myself. Yesterday, I looked at my phone at yesterday was Thursday. I looked at my phone at 5 p.m. I was waiting for a couple of evening class guys to come. I looked at my phone. I'd done 7 minutes on my phone yesterday.
You're good. I'm afraid I can't own up to that.
Seven,
I know I've been on it
seven
a
minutes.
little bit as an awful lot of distraction lately, but
I think we all ought to keep an eye on what we're
oh,
doing. And
I
I've done and I've done a lot more walks as well, Jill.
good.
You'll be pleased to know. Going out at 6 and 7 in the morning
Oh,
to the
beautiful.
woods,
Yeah.
an hour walk with the dog on my
Yeah.
own, or sometimes with the wife.
Well, I'm out early,
Get out
so
in nature.
absolutely get out in nature. But no, I'm guilty
Okay.
of my hours going up. But some of that as well, as Clive and I were both saying, we sit there and we look like we're on our phones, and then we'll read articles. It's like we're reading the newspaper, and we
Yeah,
kind of forget that in the old days, you'd happily sit and read a newspaper for an hour or a couple of hours a day and not
yeah.
think anything of it. Actually, we now read the news or the newspapers on our phones.
Honest, yeah.
That's my excuse for now, but I am aware of it.
Right.
Jamie, you have a good couple of weeks. Go on,
Yeah,
sorry.
and you, Jill. No, I was going to say I've just had a notification that my van insurance is up, so I've got to. It's just
Yeah.
come at the top of my screen, so I've got to do that. I've
And
got to do that
my
next.
mobile
So,
phones are coming up, so I need to have a look and see what contracts I can get for that. Life used to be
oh,
so much easier without all this. Okay, you take
yeah,
care. And thank you to everybody for
Andrew,
listening as usual and for the comments that we get back. We did have some lovely comments back on Andy's podcast that we did about how lovely to be hearing about apprenticeships and talking about
yeah,
apprenticeships. And a lot of people commented, well, a few people commented back to me about what a good podcast that was to actually remind people that there are other options. So thank you for your interaction. And as we keep saying, if you'd like to be a guest, by all means, come join us. You don't have to chat about anything in particular, just join in the conversation. Jamie, have a good couple of weeks. Everybody else, have a good couple of weeks, and we'll speak to you again soon.
Andrew,
Okay,
cheers,
bye.
bye.